Welcome to Alamo Dreaming, Texas Annexation, and the U.S.-Mexican War. Our target for today is I can explain the causes of the U.S.-Mexican War. I can explain the effects of the U.S.-Mexican War and their impact on the United States. So let's look at the Texas Revolution. Sam Houston and the Texas Army won the Battle of San Jacinto on April 21st, 1836. Santa Anna, the general for the Mexican Army, was captured and surrendered, which ends the war. In 1836, Texas won its independence and becomes its own country, the Republic of Texas. From there, though, we need to talk about the annexation or bringing in of Texas. From 1836 to 1845, the Republic of Texas has 4 presidents. Texas wants to join the United States. However, America is concerned about 2 things. First, slavery tensions are beginning to build in the United States, and so the U.S. is really concerned about bringing in another slave state. Also, they're afraid of offending Mexico and starting another war. Spoiler, that happens. But in 1845, our good friend James K. Polk and Congress add Texas as the 28th state in the U.S. This leads to war. So what happens is the U.S. wants more land from Mexico, and they provoke a war to attempt to gain California and the New Mexico territory. Basically, what happens is Texas is claiming the border is the Rio and Mexico has a different river that they're claiming is the border, and there's this disputed territory in the middle. So James K. Polk sends troops into the disputed Rio Grande territory. Mexico attacks the troops because, when you send your army in, that's an act of war. And Polk persuades Congress to send people to war. So the war lasted from 1846 to 1848, and America wins every major battle and ends up capturing Mexico City, the capital of Mexico. This basically forces Mexico into the Mexican Cession. So in 1848, the U.S. and Mexico signed the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. Mexico gave the U.S. a large piece of land in red called the Mexican Cession in exchange for $15 million. In 1853, the U.S. is going to purchase that little tiny piece in the corner, the Gadsden Purchase, from Mexico for about $10 million to build railroads. So let's review our target. I can explain the causes of the U.S.-Mexican War. Hint, we annex Texas and invade Mexican territory. I can explain the effects of the U.S.-Mexican War, the Mexican Cession and the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, and their impact on the United States. Remember, they bring the United States all the way to the Pacific Ocean and give us California and New Mexico territory. That's it. Mission accomplished in our manifest destiny.